whilst Hall held the shaft to pass down to him. Having descended into the shaft, Robertson suddenly began to climb back up the ladder, apparently having realised that the noxious fumes were overpowering him. But before reaching the surface, he collapsed and fell to the bottom of the shaft. Seeing Robertson lying unconscious in the shaft, Hall ran to a nearby house for assistance. He went to the residence of Karen Helen Barr at 150 Woodruff Avenue. Her flatmate, Michael Samuel Glenn, told Hall that he had first aid experience and went to help Robertson, apparently believing that he'd been injured by slipping and falling into the manhole. In the meantime, Barr telephoned for an ambulance. Hall watched as Glenn entered the shaft. He was almost to the bottom when he began wheezing and coughing, then fell the rest of the way, landing on top of Robertson. Panicking, Hall ran back to Barr's flat and telephoned the police.
Are you in there? Harry? Jimmy! Get out of there! Jimmy!
Hold on, Harry. Don't go in. Wait for us.
Was wearing a inline respirator which was powered off of a compressor, or which was electric power off of a compressor. He did not have a 5-minute escape bottle or any type of escape means. When he went down into the space, the power to the compressor had been lost. At that time, he panicked when he didn't have any air. He pulled the mask off of his face. He took 2 or 3 breaths of pure gasoline fumes, and he went out.
Once the power had been cut off to the air compressor obviously stopped on the deck, and the co-workers of the what's now a victim inside the hull realized there was a serious problem and that their buddy didn't have any air. Their first thought was to go to the hole and jump down in the hole and run after him and get him, which is a common mistake. And the one worker actually went to the hole, stuck his head in, and then started to jump down in the hole in a futile attempt at making a rescue, and he almost became another victim.
When the local fire department got on scene, 2 firefighters tried to make entry using self-contained breathing apparatus. These self-contained breathing apparatus had to be removed from the firefighters' back in order to gain entry into the space. They were pushing the breathing apparatus in front of them.
I suppose sometime after 10 or 15 minutes of crawling and still following the civilian's airline and still not finding the victim, at some point the first firefighter in started running low on air. We believe at this point he started to go through one last horizontal opening, and as he did, he pushed his breathing apparatus through the opening. When he pushed his breathing apparatus through the opening, it fell into the opening and pulled his mask off of his head, and also pulled his head forward on the bulkhead and caused him a little gash on his forehead. And he got about 1 or 2 gulps of the intensified gasoline vapors, and then he became almost instantly paralyzed and was unable to move.
The second firefighter that had gone back had come back by that time, and air was escaping from the SCBA into the atmosphere.